Here comes Grazing in the Grass. Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards, and here you are.
I'm Eric Stroller.
And I'm Cindy Dole, and we love hanging with you. Thanks for spending some time with us because we want to find new ways for you to enjoy your space more, darn it. And that's what we do here at Home Wizards. So I love to grow things. You, Eric, love to grow things.
I do.
And I am amazed by what they are doing at Chicago's O'Hare Airport.
My hometown, by the way.
Evanston, right?
That's right.
And Chicago, everyone ends up flying through Chicago's O'Hare eventually because it is probably one of the
kind
biggest.
Kind of like purgatory, isn't it?
Well, it's not.
They've done a really nice job with the airport, by the way. They've changed it. It looks great.
It looks great, and if you haven't checked it out yet, this is something they've had just for the past, 5 or 6 months. It is the world's first. This type of a vertical garden. They are growing 44 different kinds of herbs and veggies right in the middle of the airport.
Wow.
And
what a great use of space.
Really
isn't
neat.
It? I bet the air quality is better, too.
Well, the air quality is great. What happens is it's called an aeroponic garden. Okay? And that means that basically, they're growing edible flowers, cilantro, basil, arugula, everything that you love, right? No soil is required. No soil.
Really?
And it's in these sky-high, it's a farm, if you will, collaboration of the aviation department and a bunch of other partners. But basically, they have figured out a way where, it's a mere 5% of the water normally required for farming, no soil, and the water has nutrients that feeds the vegetables. And it's just this great project. It uses and recycles water. You can check it out. Just go on, Google it. You check it out.
Well, it's nice for the airport and airlines to say, well, even though we've taken away the size of your seat and it doesn't recline anymore, here's a carrot.
And even though, oops, you missed your flight,
yeah,
well,
that's
hang
right.
out and take a look at the herbs.
How about a cucumber?
You know what? They'll probably charge you for the cucumber.
I know,
That's
right?
probably extra.
I wonder what they do with the harvested produce.
Well, that's funny you ask. Now the airport food, I think that they have some kind of an alliance, so some of the food now goes to the restaurants
in the airport. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
So anyway, this inspired me to talk about, because not everyone has a garden, and even if you do, we all want to grow more things, and we want to be smarter and have healthy things that we can
so
eat,
you
right?
can grow veggies
You
inside.
can grow herbs, fruit, and veggies inside. So I thought we'd run through the best ways you can do this.
Great.
Anyone can do this. A windowsill. We may not be Chicago O'Hare's airport, but we can still do this and be inspired, right? All right, so let's start with some herbs.
Okay.
We love herbs, right? You cook with herbs.
All the time.
You're making chicken tonight?
You know I am.
You're going to put some herbs in there, I hope?
You better believe it.
What kind of herbs would you want to put in your chicken?
Well, I'm a purist on the chicken. I just like to have salt and pepper on it. But if I were doing a pork butt,
I thought you were putting apricot on it.
But that's not an herb. That's a fruit.
Okay.
But if I were to do some pork butt, I'd put a little dill in.
But you would not put anything more than salt and pepper in your
salt
chicken?
And pepper, and I do some onion inside, and a little carrot, and that's it. And then I pour a little white wine over it right as it's about done.
I cut up
to get a
lemons.
Little juice, and then I throw in.
I thought you put lemons inside.
I do sometimes. I do that too.
All right. Well, but let's say you did want to have the herbs for your other things that you're going to be making, right? Because by the way, you can grow herbs inside any time of the year. You don't even need special lights.
Yeah.
They'll do just fine in a bright window. And so let's talk about some of the ideal ones that you'll be successful with, okay?
Yeah.
So for starters, who doesn't want to have some basil? Basil is amazing. You can start basil from seeds or from little pots. Put it in the south-facing window. It likes a lot of sun and a lot of warmth.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Basil done.
Basil.
And I buy the living basil sometimes in the grocery store, but I figure I could do that myself.
So again, inside. You can do it inside. How about bay leaves? I know that when you make some stew or chili or
I love a
you
good
put
bay
a
leaf.
couple of bay leaves in there, right?
Yep.
So this is something that's going to grow well in containers all year long. Again, we're talking about growing herbs inside. So no excuses. You just say, I don't have a yard. No. Doesn't work.
You got a window?
Not working.
Yeah.
You got a window?
You better grow some basil.
If you don't have a window, we have another show for you. That's called Depression Hour.
That's right.
That's the Depression Hour.
Paint your room gray. Sit inside.
No. So you're going to place the pot in an east or west facing window. And if you don't know east or west or north or south, I mean, you can always use a lot of these smartphones. They have compasses on them, right?
Or where the sun rises and sets. East is the rising, setting is west.
There you go.
That's it.
You basically place the pot in that area. Just be sure it doesn't get crowded. The bay leaf needs air circulation to be happy and healthy. But now,
yeah, and if you're in a cold climate, you're going to want to keep it away from the window a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not right up against it. The frozen tundra. No.
That's right.
A couple other great ideas, because we're talking about some of the best herbs that anyone can grow inside. Chives. You love chives, right?
I love chives.
Who doesn't want
right
some
on
chives?
The baked potato.
On a baked potato,
Yeah.
right? So here's the deal with chives. You dig up a clump of chives from your garden at the end of the growing season, then you put in a pot, and you leave the pot outside until the leaves die back, and then in the winter, right around now, you move the pot to the coolest indoor spot, like a basement.
Is that right?
And then for a few days, then finally put it back to your brightest window.
Shocks them into growing, doesn't
And
it?
you are ready for some chive-alicious.
No chive.
Chive-alicious.
Chive-alicious.
Oregano. You got to love oregano, because I know you do Italian stuff
do.
for
I
your
love it.
marinara, right?
All the time.
All right. So the best bet is to start with a tip of the oregano, a cutting, if you will, from an outdoor plant. What? Your neighbor has an oregano? Oh,
Get it. Go take it.
I'm
I'm not
telling
doing anything, just looking at your lawn.
Oh, what's over there?
Yeah.
Is that a deer? Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh! Quick, get a little bit of the oregano,
That's right.
and then place. So we're encouraging people to steal other people's plants.
That's okay.
Oh, don't do
Just
that.
occasionally.
Just, here's the solution. You take one of your orchids and you say,
Give 'em
I'm going
back.
to have some of your oregano.
That's
That's
right.
a trade. And then you put the pot in a south-facing window. You've got your oregano growing inside. Isn't this amazing?
Much better.
We're growing things inside.
Well, and I'll tell you, not stealing your neighbor's things, but you can then bake them some sort of a delicious thing and bring it and say, hey,
See?
I made some cake with your...
You will see
with your
full
herbs.
disclosure.
Yeah.
You would.
Well, and the other thing, I have an orange tree on my property. I have so many oranges I can't use them all. Why not give them away?
I think you should.
Or have people come over and just take them.
Yeah. That's what we do. We would bag up oranges and give
Otherwise,
them away.
it rots on the ground and the varmints get them. You know.
Parsley is something you can grow inside. Parsley is great. I love parsley for a lot of different things. I would put a clump of that in my rotisserie chicken.
No,
Would you put that inside?
Yes, I sure
with maybe
would.
some couple lemons
You know it.
and oranges? Well, anyway, you want to have parsley. All you do, it likes full sun, but again, it will grow inside slowly in an east or west facing window.
Wow. How about, can you do mint?
Well, mint is so wild. I think you probably can do mint anywhere. I mean, mint is one of those things that it's hard to kill it.
I love mint.
You love mint?
And a delicious iced tea. Come
Yep,
on.
yeah.
It could be better.
Rosemary. Again, you start with a cutting of rosemary, and then you keep it moist until this soilless mix, until it roots, right?
Yeah.
And then you can put that in a south-facing window. So again, you can basically grow.
You have an entire herb garden.
You are you're like an herb scientist.
Now, if you want to take it to the next level, you could have a grow light.
You could.
If you don't have the exposure.
You could.
And you could just throw them under the grow light and be good.
Yeah, but this is like so
That's
basic.
so easy.
This
You're
is
saying
just,
I can put
this
it
is
in my window, east or
windowsill-
west facing.
Windowsill garden.
Call it a day.
Yeah, done. How about sage? Take a little tip of cutting from an outdoor plant and then start an indoor sage. It likes dry indoor air.
Okay.
So that's almost everybody. Probably.
Who doesn't have that?
Most people have too dry indoor
I
air,
need
right?
humidifier in
Yeah,
there.
And but it needs some strong sun, so it probably is going to want a south-facing window. So think about some sage.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try doing herbs.
I think that you
And
need
you know
to
what
have
I'm going to do? I'm going to dry them and I'm going to bring them to you as a gift.
Okay.
And I'll say I grew these right here in my
And I'll
own
love
house.
it, and I'll put it
You'll
on
make
whatever
a
I'm-
chicken, give it back to me. See, that's what
See?
happens when you give this stuff away. It all comes back.
Doesn't everything come back?
Well, it's karma.
It kind of does. Thyme, you got to try some thyme, right? We never have enough thyme, but you can grow the thyme indoors by rooting a soft tip cutting or by digging up and potting an outdoor plant. And then the thyme, it likes full sun, but it will grow in an east-west facing window.
Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
What's that?
Can you grow fennel?
Fennel, I'm sure you can.
Okay. I'm going to try it.
I
I'm
think
going
you
to try
should-
all the dang ones.
I think.
Sage, parsley, rosemary, thyme, fennel. I'm going to do it all.
Yeah.
I actually cook with all those.
And then you need to have
tarragon. I'd like to try.
You can do tarragon. So anyway, the sky's the limit. Those are the herbs that you can grow because it just is that easy. Now, there's other things that you can grow inside that you may not have thought about. There are vegetables that you can grow inside.
Come on.
There are vegetables that you can grow inside.
Like what?
So I'm thinking, everyone talks about growing tomatoes and growing lettuce and cucumbers and such. I mean, we were just showing you how at the O'Hare Airport, they're growing vegetables inside the airport.
And they're not even using soil.
They're not even using soil.
Just
but
hydroponic.
Who doesn't love tomatoes, right? I love a great tomato.
I love tomatoes.
I love
fresh.
mushrooms.
Yep.
I love all these, right? So you can basically create a windowsill for growing veggies, and we're going to talk about what you need to do to have mushrooms and tomatoes and peppers all in your own kitchen windowsill garden.
Fantastic.
That's coming up. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to improve your home and improve your life.
Oh, Pod, how you tease. Now please grow